My mother texted me, "Stay away from the wedding. You and your children just complicate things." No heads up, no call, just that blunt sentence glaring on my phone while I stood in the pharmacy queue, clutching a $140 prescription. My sister responded with a chuckling emoji. I stared, then replied, "Then you won't need my credit for the venue." They kept giggling in the group chat, oblivious that I held the one thing they couldn't afford to lose. That's when it all started to collapse. Before I share how it unfolded, hit like and comment. Has your family ever turned vicious when you finally drew a line? People hearing stories like mine always ask, how could your own kin treat you that way? Truth is, it wasn't sudden. My mother, Lorraine, had a knack for turning shame into leverage, and I was her steadiest fault. Since I was 16, she called it pitching in, but that aid always came with a bill. When my sisters, Claire and Sophie, were in college, I guaranteed their loans because Lorraine said, "You've got the stable job." When our stepfather Tom lost his job for months, I paid for utilities, groceries, even Lorraine's salon visits, as she promised repayment when times improved. They never did. I learned early that in our family, affection was tallied in transactions. Still, I gave because I thought that's what daughters do. I'm 35 now, a single mother of two, working as an accountant at a drug company. My days blur between ledgers, school pickups, and the silent exhaustion only those holding everything together alone understand. Yet, I made time for them. For months, I'd helped Claire plan her dream wedding. Every bill, every call, every payment had my name. She wanted a lakeside venue with a glass ballroom, the kind that dazzles on social media but costs more than most cars. I told myself it was okay. She deserved it. I didn't realize I was bankrolling my own disgrace. Looking back, there were hints, small signals I missed. The way Lorraine's voice shifted when I mentioned splitting costs. How Claire dismissed my questions like I was just her financier. "You're great with finances," she chuckled. "You've got this." And I did. $3,000 for the deposit, $1,200 for catering meetings, $600 for floral trials, all on my card. I thought they'd cover their share later. They didn't. Still, I stayed engaged. I attended fittings, browsed fabric samples, even toured the venue, while Claire claimed she was too overwhelmed. Lorraine kept saying family stays united. I believed her until that text. Maybe that's why it hurt so much. It wasn't just the wedding. It was realizing my worth was tied to my wallet. In that pharmacy line, I wasn't plotting vengeance or thinking of money. I was recalling every time I pleaded to be seen as a daughter, not a resource. That text clarified everything. I wasn't part of the joy. I was the backup plan, and I was done. The next morning, the group chat buzzed like a swarm. My phone glowed with messages, chuckling emojis, private jokes, a meme of a bridesmaid stumbling. It wasn't just mean, it was planned. They were all complicit. I stared at those texts, then muted the chat. That tiny click felt louder than any words. Sitting on my bed, phone in hand, I reflected on the past 6 months. Every receipt, every payment, every favor dismissed like it was nothing. I'd spent over $4,000 for their big day. I'd reshuffled my life, skipped time with my kids, took work leave, all to ensure Claire's vision was flawless. And now, they decided I was the flaw. That truth didn't sting as I expected. It seared, but beneath it was calm clarity. They never wanted me there, just my contributions. That night, Tom called. His voice was soft, cautious. "You don't deserve this, Elise," he said. "You've done more than anyone." I heard his guilt, torn between loyalty and honesty. I told him I was okay. He didn't buy it, but dropped it. After we hung up, I opened my laptop. The venue contract, signed and paid by me, stared back. Primary contact, Elise Harper. Those words felt heavier now. In my quiet, dimly lit apartment, with my kids asleep, I realized this was my only safe haven. Everything outside, guilt, demands, manipulation, belonged to them. But this was mine. My cursor lingered over an email draft from weeks ago, when the venue requested final confirmation. I recalled the coordinator's kind voice. Reach out anytime for changes. My fingers typed before I could hesitate. Can I cancel the booking if needed? I hit send. The next morning, the reply came. Yes, as the primary on file. I read it twice, my pulse steady. They thought I'd stay silent, keep paying, keep apologizing for a seat at a table that didn't want me. They never imagined the table would vanish. I didn't cancel immediately. I waited 2 days, long enough for their laughter to continue, for the silence to sharpen. By Wednesday, Claire posted a countdown on her Instagram story. 12 days to forever. I watched for 3 seconds, then opened my laptop. The venue coordinator, Sarah, answered on the second ring. She knew me, likely because I was the only one at planning meetings. Hi, Elise. Confirming the final payment? She asked brightly. Actually, I said, voice even, I need to cancel the event. A pause. Then, quietly, she said, understood. As the contract's in your name, I'll process it now. Just like that, months of planning dissolved with one click. Instead of guilt, I felt calm, like the air after a storm, heavy but fresh. After hanging up, I stared at the muted group chat. They were still posting memes about the drama queen spoiling the vibe. I almost smiled, knowing they'd soon face real chaos. That afternoon, I called Tara and Nicole, my college friends. They'd eloped during the pandemic and never celebrated properly. When I offered the date and venue, they thought I was teasing. No joke, I said. It's yours if you want it. My gift. Silence, then soft sobs through the line. They didn't know they were saving me too. Giving that day new meaning let me shed its pain. By evening, the group chat went silent. I knew why. The payment likely bounced, and the venue sent the cancellation notice. I pictured the chaos. Claire refreshing her email, Lorraine pacing, Sophie typing furiously. I sipped water, leaning against my counter, and waited. Not out of malice, but curiosity. How long until they realized the one who held it all together was gone? They'd mocked my kindness. Now they'd learn what happens when the punchline walks away. The fallout hit fast. By Thursday, my phone vibrated constantly. Claire, Lorraine, Sophie, all leaving frantic voicemails. Why is the venue cancelled? Elise, call back now. What did you do? I didn't respond. I wanted them to feel the silence they'd built for me. By noon, Tom called, voice steady. They're unraveling, he said. Claire's sobbing, Lorraine's shouting, Sophie's blaming everyone. I warned them. He paused. I'm sorry, kiddo. You deserved better. I didn't cry. Thanks for seeing it, I said. That night, Lorraine called my landline, a number unused for years. Its ring felt alien. When I answered, she skipped pleasantries. How could you ruin your sister's wedding? She snapped. I let her vent, her voice sharp and shaky. When she paused, I asked softly, was I even invited anymore? Silence. Then she backpedaled. You misread that text. We were joking. Claire was stressed. She didn't mean it. I nearly laughed. You thought it was funny enough for memes, I said. Her voice wavered between anger and guilt. Don't make this worse. Fix it. I hung up. No shouting, just a clean break. The next morning, I met Tom for coffee downtown. He looked weary, eyes heavy. The rain's unbearable, he said. Claire's calling every venue within 50 miles, but everything's taken. And the catering? I asked. He shook his head. Refunds gone, non-transferable. A faint smile flickered. I told Lorraine if she doesn't apologize, I'm done paying. I sipped my coffee, the warmth grounding me. What'd she say? He looked down. She said I'm being manipulated by you. I smiled. Maybe you're just noticing. By Sunday, their silence turned eerie. No calls, no posts, not even from Claire. I thought it was over until Tom texted. They got a new venue, Wednesday evening. Budget hall outside town. I could imagine it. Fluorescent lights, folding chairs, foil-covered trays. On the wedding day, it poured. Not a drizzle, but a relentless deluge turning the lot into a swamp. I wasn't there, but I didn't need to be. A cousin texted, What happened? It's depressing. Claire didn't tag me, but Sophie slipped, posting a blurry photo of the hall. Beige walls, plastic flowers, cheap speakers. The caption, Round 2, no fuss. The irony nearly made me laugh. That night, Tom called. You won't believe this, he said. During the bouquet toss, Claire's old friend caught it and yelled the groom still texting her. Room went dead. I covered my mouth, hiding a smile I didn't want him to hear. Lorraine blamed me, he went on. Said I invited the wrong people. I told her she pushed away the only one holding this family together. He exhaled heavily. I think she got it. Not the words, but the silence after. After the call, I sat on my couch, hearing the fridge hum and my kids' soft breaths. I expected triumph, but felt calm, like a weight had lifted. The next morning, Claire texted, You must be thrilled. Everyone's calling you heartless. I stared, thumb over the screen. I considered explaining, defending myself. But why? She wanted a reaction, not truth. So I set the phone down and let it buzz until it stopped. Days later, Tom texted, I'm leaving. I called instantly. You mean it? Yeah, he said. I told Lorraine I'm done. I can't live where decency's seen as betrayal. His voice softened. I added you to my insurance. You're the only one who treated me like family. My throat tightened. No tears. Thank you, I whispered. That night, I stood on my balcony. The rain had stopped. The air fresh. I thought of Lorraine's cold text. The emojis, the laughter. They thought I was petty for pulling back. They didn't see it wasn't revenge. It was freedom. For years, I'd paid for their peace. Now, mine was mine. Tom left a week later. No drama, just a quiet exit that spoke volumes. He left a note on my doorstep, his neat handwriting. You were right to leave first. At coffee days later, he looked lighter, younger. The house is chaos, he said. Lorraine's pretending it's fine. Sophie's jobless. Claire's buried in wedding debt. He stirred his coffee. They still haven't apologized, not once. I smiled. No joy, just clarity. They can't. Apologies mean admitting the well's dry. He laughed softly, then slid an envelope across. A check. Part of that loan I took for them, he said. They'll never see it, but you deserve this. I pushed it back. Keep it, Tom. You've paid enough. That night, on my balcony, watching city lights, my phone buzzed. Lorraine. You've made your point, but we're still family. I read it, then replied. I didn't cut anyone off. I stopped funding my own mistreatment. No reply came. Inside, my kids laughed, building a pillow fort. I realized peace wasn't loud or showy. It was quiet, steady, mine. For the first time, I wasn't responsible for their happiness, just my own. I thought love meant staying, no matter the pain. That loyalty meant carrying unearned burdens. Now I know love without respect is control masquerading as care. Walking away wasn't revenge, it was survival. This mess taught me peace doesn't come from fixing what's broken. It comes from letting it fall. If you've ever chosen your peace over family's approval, take it from me. Choose peace. You'll sleep better. You'll breathe. If this hit home, comment where you're watching from. And subscribe for more stories like this.